up, everybody? How's it going out there around the world? The one and only Mark Spencer's back for MLB Today. Well, actually, MLB Review News Flash for January 24th, 2012. The news is in. Breaking news. Prince Fielder is a Detroit Tiger. I just got the news just off the press. Just learned from CBS.com. I was just checking on the old ticker that it says Prince Fielder has signed just recently with the Detroit Tigers this morning. It looks like it's a 10-year deal. Actually, not a 10-year deal, a 9-year deal worth $214 million. The second biggest contract signed this offseason, right behind Albert Pujols' 10 years, $254 million deal. I really think this deal's a back, like one of those type of deals, like almost like Pujols is like it's deferred money over the years. So this year he'll make $23 million, and I think after that it will be lesser and lesser, and then further end of the contract will be backloaded. So pretty much it's a backloaded contract. So this is a huge deal. I'm surprised. Just don't forget his dad played for this team, Cecil Fielder. So when Prince was a young kid, he went to the stadium with his old man when he was like 12 years old, I guess, and he watched his old man play for the team. And don't forget, Cecil Fielder got 50 home runs for this Detroit Tiger team led by Sparky Anderson back in the days, and especially in the 80s. So I'll never forget those days. Those are special moments at the old Tiger Stadium. And when you look at this agreement, these are some of the biggest contracts of all time. So I was just reading here on MLB Trade Rumors that the agreement for the fourth largest in baseball history behind Alex Rodriguez' mega contract, Albert Pujols' recent deal with the Angels, will keep Fielder in the Motor City through the age of 36. So he'll be there till he's 36 years of age. Right now he's 28, and this is a mega deal. I mean, he'll be there for the rest of his career pretty much. I mean, after 36, I don't think many teams will sign Prince. He'll probably put on more weight. He won't hit as many home runs as he's hitting now. I think he got a couple 40, 50 home run seasons left in him. Maybe two 40, 50 home run seasons left. Maybe at least 50 home run season with the Detroit Tigers. Playing in Comerica, it's very hard to hit the ball out of the ballpark. They have brought in what's it called? They brought the field in, like the wall. They brought the wall in and stuff. So I feel this is a big time move. There's no doubt. I never saw this coming, and you never know. You never know, man. You never know. And also it says here his at the age of 36, and you'll have I don't know if it has any opt-out clauses. Jim Bowden of MLB Radio Network Radio and ESPN.com tweets. So and some other stuff they're talking about. Mike Ilitch had some say in this signing. This is unbelievable. I just can't believe Prince Fielder is a Detroit Tiger. I mean, this completely changes everything in the AL Central. You got to tip your hat to this Dave Dombrowski. I mean, he did it with the Florida Marlins. Now he's doing it with the Detroit Tigers. Just remember, I think it was 2007, not 2005. I said before it was 2005. They did the deal for Miguel Cabrera and Dontrelle Willis. It was actually 2007. The deal actually did happen. I think it was in the off season. And you know what? Dave Dombrowski, he has done some major deals over the years, especially with Scott Boras. It says here, through the market for fielders seemed far from robust at times. This offseason, agent Scott Boras has found an unexpected suitor once again. Over the years, Tigers owner Mike Ilitch and GM Dave Dombrowski have dealt extensively with Boras regarding clients such as Kenny Rogers, Ivan Rodriguez, Pudge Rodriguez, Johnny Damon, and Maglio Ordonez. And don't forget, Ordonez still is a free agent. So we'll see what happens. Fielder will play first base. Miguel Cabrera will change rules. So it looks like Cabrera might be playing third base again. We'll see. I still think they need a designated hitter. Cabrera does want a DH, so looks like Cabrera will most likely end up playing third base once again. I think that's where he began his career when he was with the Florida Marlins. Don't rule out Johnny Damon. I think there's a good chance Johnny Damon might end up with the Detroit Tigers. Jim Leyland was asked about this on MLB radio recently, and he said, you know what, you never know. They might bring in Johnny Damon. You never know. The blow with V-Mart changed everything, and I think that's a big reason why they signed Prince Fielder. And 9 years, it's ridiculous money. I don't know why they go for 214 million at Prince Fielder, but the Fielder family has a big connection with the Motor City, the city of Detroit, the ownership of the Detroit Tigers, and going back to Cecil Fielder. I mean, one of the greatest baseball players to ever live. There's no doubt that the relationship between Cecil and his son Prince, it goes back decades. So this is a perfect relationship for the fans of Detroit and for the Ilitch family, and never mind the fans, that want to win a World Series in Detroit. They haven't won a World Series. It's been a long time. I mean, it's been since 1984 when Sparky Anderson led Detroit Tigers to the pennant and won it all. And we'd like to see them win the World Series again, and is every chance they might have a shot now with Prince Field. If they get into the playoffs with the pitching of Justin Verlander, you got Rick Purcell. If he can get his act together, Max Scherzer is really becoming a star. His great pitches, curveball, changeup, sinker. These guys are very, very good. You never know. It just takes a little bit of luck when it comes to the playoffs. When I look at this Detroit Tiger team, folks, I see a lot of hope, a lot of potential. Minnesota is going to be tough this year. Even hopefully Justin Morneau gets his act together. His head's right. He's focused. Mauer plays much better. If they don't, I'm taking the Tigers to win this division. Chicago White Sox are not that good with a new manager, Robin Ventura. They have a lot of building to do. They still have a lot of their core pieces. Adam Dunn. You look at Paul Konerko. Here's another guy that can hit the ball out of any ballpark. Great average, you name it. But Detroit, they look good. They look really good. And if they can add Johnny Damon, that would be the final piece they need, because they still have the core intact. They might not have Ordonez anymore. Now they got Fielder. And this guy will make up for a lot of home runs they'll be missing out of V-Mart for 2012. This is a big-time move. Some other signings just recently. Francisco Cordero, the former Cincinnati Red, has just signed with the Toronto Blue Jays. I am totally surprised by this. The former closer of the Reds has signed a one-year deal at $4.5 million contract, according to Ken Rosenthal of Fox Sports. He tweets, the performance the client will set up for Sergio Santos. So Santos will be the closer, and it looks like Cordero will be his setup man. So the Blue Jays are really in it. Now they went and got some good pieces. I really wish they could have got Fielder or even Carlos Beltran, but it wasn't in the cards. Beltran chose to sign with the Cardinals. I got a mega deal, 3 years, big time money. So there's been a lot of movement today. Looks like Tim Lincecum has signed a 2-year deal worth $45.2 million. Mega money for Tim Lincecum, as far as I'm concerned. He broke the bank open, in terms of arbitration and all that stuff. Nowadays, it's all about arbitration. Looks like Carlos Pena, the former Chicago Cub, is going back home again to sign a 1-year deal worth $7.25 million with the Tampa Bay Rays. This is a mega deal for the Rays. They get back someone they're familiar with. I feel that Pena, he struggled in Chicago last year. He batted, 225 on base, slugging percentage around 357 and 462 line, and he hit 28 home runs and 606 plate appearances. Sorry about that, folks. In 2011, so he made $10 million last year. Easy $10 million. And he still got 28 home runs. He didn't drove in a lot of RBIs last year, but Carlos Pena is still one of my favorite players. He has one of those sweet swings. The sweet, just explosion off his bat is phenomenal. And another signing that happened this past week was the Athletic signing former New York Yankee, Cleveland Indian, Bartolo Colon, and former Chicago White Sox. Bartolo Colon got his career up and going again with the New York Yankees. He pitched some amazing baseball last year. There were some games last year he looked like the old Bartolo Colon. After having major arm surgery, I think in some part of Europe, I think stem cell work, I don't know what it was, but He's going to fill out this rotation that has traded off quite a bit of players this offseason. You just look at the players that Oakland have traded off. They traded off Gio Gonzalez, Trevor Cahill, and, and they got rid of Guillermo Moscano. And all they have left is, and they traded off Brandon McCarthy. All they have left is Dallas Braden, Brad Anderson, and a few other young pitchers. So we'll see what happens. They're a young team, the A's. They've let go of some good players. Josh Willingham signed with the Twins. I think Josh Willingham signing with the Twins is going to help the Twins this year. And you look at Detroit, I think it's going to be between those two teams who's going to be fighting for the Central. Kansas City look amazing. They acquired Jonathan Sanchez in the deal for was it Milky Cabrera, and then you have them signing Jonathan Broston as their new closer. And I don't know what they're going to do with Joakim Soria. I think Soria will probably be a setup man for now, but we'll see what happens. And there's been some other signings here. Kevin Slowey was just recently dealt to the Cleveland Indians from Minnesota for a few prospects. Looks like Nationals extended Mike Morrissey, and then the Rangers signed Brad Hopp. Brad Hopp had some good years with the Colorado Rockies. I feel he's going to really help this team. He's a guy that knows how to hit the ball. Hits for good average. He'll drive you the odd run. He's had a few grand salamis in his career. When you're playing in Colorado, that thin air, you always put up good numbers. And I think he's going to put amazing numbers in Texas with that great heat in Texas at Arlington. So we'll see what happens. Johnny Gomes, I think he's going to explode in Oakland, playing at the Oakland Alamati Coliseum in Oakland. And I think he's going to do some damage. With the recent trade of Marco Scudero from the Boston Red Sox to the Colorado Rockies, I think this is a major move for Boston. Man, it's traded off quite a bit. They've traded off both their infielders. They traded off Jed Larin, another deal earlier in the season to San Diego, and now with Marco Scudero, the former Blue Jay, they traded him to Colorado Rockies for Clayton Mortensen. I think Mortensen's going to be a good young pitcher for them, but in my mind, why would they trade off Marco Scudero? Unless they're going to bring in somebody. I just don't know who. Kevin Millwood looks like he signed a minor league contract with the Seattle Mariners. Don't forget they signed Oliver Perez recently. They're going to have a pretty good rotation. We'll just hopefully they make the team. That's the key. Julio Lugo looks like he's back in Major League Baseball. He signed a deal with Cleveland Indians, minor league contract, 1-year deal. Lugo hasn't been the same player since he left Boston. He had his best years with the Boston Red Sox when they were winning World Series, and he hasn't been the same. And how about this surprise signing by the Blue Jays? Getting Omar Vizquel, a utility guy, one of the greatest shortstops of all time. The 44-year-old going to turn 45. What a pickup. Omar Vizquel is a citizen of the game. He's a Hall of Famer in my book. Just like Barry Larkin, I want to say congratulations to him. He's a Hall of Famer in all levels. A former Cincinnati Red. That's too bad. You could have had two guys going to the Hall of Fame this year. I wish Jack Morris could have made it. Oh, who knows? That's the way the Hall of Fame is. Sometimes you're going to make the Hall of Fame. Sometimes you're not going to make it. But I would have really loved to see Jack Morris get in, former Blue Jay. His time with the Twins when they won the World Series back in '91. That was a special World Series with Kirby Puckett and all those guys. I always remember that one movie I watched, Little Big League, and they had the Twins playing in that, and Ken Griffey Jr., Randy Johnson were all in that movie. It was always special, 1994, and that Twins team was really special, just like the Blue Jays in 92, 93, winning back-to-back. Some of the good memories you have of these teams and some of the great players like Joe Carter, Roberto Alomar, all these greats, Kirby Puckett, John Smoltz, Glavine, and, Maddox, and all these World Series and games that you've seen in the 90s. That's when the 90s was always sweet, and you never know, folks. Okay, and some other news. It looks like Cody Ross is signed with the Red Sox, a former San Francisco Giant. I think this is a good pickup. They got Ryan Sweeney out of the Oakland deal that went with Andrew Bailey. So, the Red Sox are getting some depth, so it's going to help them long term. And with Tim Lincecum re-signed for 2 more years, you know what? I think Lincecum could be traded at the trade deadline this summer. The negotiations didn't go really good with him. And, if Oakland gets a deal that blows them out of the water, they'll trade him. So don't be surprised if they do trade him. Um, that's all the news I got, y'all. And thanks for watching. Uh, it's always good to talk baseball, and baseball is where it's at. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. This is Mark Spencer for MLB Today, or MLB Review. News flash for January 23rd, 2012. Bye-bye, everyone. We'll see you next time for Tuesday. Bye-bye.